NLRC Saga, why Gbajabiamila must be prosecuted, Comrade Norbert. Comrade Ikechukwu Norbert said Lanre Gbajabiamila, who was in charge of the Lagos State Lottery Board for several years, should be prosecuted. Norbert said billions of naira were generated under Gbajabiamila's watch, and now he deliberately refused to remit what is accruable to the federal government. Norbert stated that Gbajabiamila feels he should be rewarded by the same federal government which he systematically undermined. The controversy surrounding the National Lottery Regulatory Commission, NLRC, appears to have taken a new twist following the revelation made by a civil society advocate. Comrade Ikechukwu Norbert stated that Lanre Gbajabiamila should be prosecuted for illegally occupying the office of Director General of the NLRC before being screened by the Senate. NLRC gathered that Comrade Norbert lauded the Senate for its timely intervention of rescuing one of the nation's potential top revenue generators from the hands of selfish political jobbers. NLRC Saga, why Gbajabiamila must be prosecuted, Comrade Norbert. According to the Comrade, Senate in its wisdom took the right decision by removing the illegal installation of the former Lagos State Lottery czar, who throughout his tenure failed to remit a dime to the federal government coffers through the National Lottery Trust Fund, NLTF. He said, why should someone like Gbajabiamila, who was in charge of the Lagos State Lottery Board for several years in which billions of naira were generated under his watch, yet he deliberately refused to remit what is accruable to the federal government? Then today he expects to be rewarded by the same federal government which he systematically undermined. He went further to state that, Nigeria must be seen as a nation of laws and not of men if we are to stand tall amongst the comity of nations in the world. Mr. Gbajabiamila's refusal to subject himself to the screening of the Senate before occupying such a sensitive office reveals that he has a lot to hide from Nigerians about his antecedents and his real intentions. If we are to consider the implications of his actions under the law, it is a clear attempt to undermine our Constitution, which empowers the Senate to screen any individual nominated by Mr. President for any government office. To say the least, it is an obvious violation of due process, as I will call on the appropriate authorities to go further and prosecute him and any individual that must have aided him in this act of violation of due process. In his words, the National Lottery Regulatory Commission, just like many other agencies of government, have credible men and women who have the prerequisite experience, knowledge, proven track record of performances, and the right professional attitude to take their agencies to the next level, such as the head of administration and finance Mr. Robert Bolaker and several others. Recalls that the second national vice president of the Nigerian Bar Association, NBA, Barrister Monday Ubani, has popped up 6 questions he thought must be answered concerning the huge sums of foreign currencies recently recovered by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, in a mansion in Ikoyi, Lagos State. The ownership of the fund, which includes $43 million, has remained unknown hours after it was recovered. All those allegedly fingered have denied knowing anything about it.